Hello and welcome to the Sdeke Podcast, Academia Edition, where we bring in students and professionals in academia to share their journeys and career so as to inspire others who may want to get into it and also to thrive and learn. I would like to extend a special thanks to Workshop 17 for collaborating with us by allowing us to use their studios to bring our podcast to life. If you would like the same experience, we will leave their contact details in the description below. Today we have a lovely guest and a special lady by the name of Nomacusi Sibeko. I'm going to give you a brief description of her profile. Nomacusi Sibeko is a dedicated research and laboratory professional with experience in data analysis, scientific research, laboratory operations, and public health initiatives. With a strong background in molecular and sequencing workflows, she has contributed to various research and field-based projects requiring precision, analytical thinking, and effective coordination. Noma is passionate about continuous learning and is currently pursuing her PhD while further expanding her expertise in data analysis and research methodologies. Known for her adaptability, professionalism, and strong work ethic, she thrives in fast-paced environments and is committed to delivering meaningful results through collaboration, attention to detail, and scientific excellence. Does that cover everything?
Pretty much.
Great. Hi, Noma. You're welcome. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nomacusi. I am a research technologist, and thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. We are thrilled to have you, and we really hope that our audience will learn a lot from your vast experience and expertise. So tell us, take us back. Your origin, the beginning, what inspired you to get into this field?
Okay, so from the age of 10, I've always wanted to cure cancer.
Okay.
That decision was informed by me losing my mom to cancer. Okay. And since 10, I just wanted to become a medical doctor because I thought medical doctor could cure every disease. And then in varsity, I wanted to do medicine, but I wasn't hearing back after my applications.
All right.
And my mentor at the time told me to register for biological sciences, so that the following year I can then apply for medicine again. So biological sciences was going to be like a foundational phase type of thing. It was going to be a transition.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then the following year when I tried to apply for medicine, they told me that they had phased that program out. And I had to complete that degree and then only apply for medicine.
Okay.
And then so I applied for medicine after my bachelor's, which was unsuccessful. And I still wanted to do medicine so badly.
Of course.
And my mentor and I sat down and had a conversation, and she asked why I wanted to do medicine so badly. And when we had the conversation, she started breaking down what my path would look like if I pursued a medical degree. And it was upon then that I realized that I don't want to pursue medicine.
Okay.
And then so she advised me to do biomedical sciences.
All right.
And I found out that at UKZN they had phased out biomedical sciences.
The
other option was to do it at DUT.
All right.
And I was so proud to go to DUT. In my foolish mind, I was so proud to go there.
I see.
So I decided not to go there.
Okay.
And I did an honors. And it was my honors that informed me that actually I'm in the right path and this is where I wanted to be.
I see. That is pretty interesting. So from your honors, you decided this is the right path. At that point, did you think that you were going to take it all the way through to PhD?
Yes, I realized during my honors that I probably was going to take it all the way through. Because like I said, it feels like my path was carved out for me. Like I wanted to cure cancer.
Yeah.
So if curing cancer meant doing a PhD, that made more sense. And then that's what I was going to do.
I see. Okay. So of course there's a lot of research that goes into that. Okay.
Yes, so I did ask around during my honors. So the way an honors program is set up, like they give you information for every type of industry, every type of application.
Okay.
So it's up to you to take what you want.
I see.
So I used every opportunity I could get to speak to the academics and ask, like, this is what I want to do, and how do I move on from here?
Yeah.
And I also kept in touch with my mentor. So she was also guiding me through the entire process.
All right. That is lovely. So it was a very much informed decision.
Yeah, it was really an informed decision.
To do your PhD.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. So as you know, your undergraduate, it's more theory than practical. What was sort of like the turning point during your undergrad that kind of directed your path, either undergrad or your honors?
So throughout my undergrad, I was miserable because I didn't want to be there.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I need to get out of here
medicine.
and do my medicine.
I see.
So I was miserable throughout, and I wouldn't say there's an aspect that I enjoyed really. I feel like I wasted my undergrad years because I was walking around just miserable, wanted to get out of there. It was actually my honors that opened up my eyes.
I see.
So during my honors, I think it was stem cell. So there's a lecturer who came in, and we had her for 6 weeks, and she was doing stem cell research with us. So that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I can do this.
All right.
So yeah, I'm glad I started to it.
That's great. That's really interesting. So could we now say, is it safe to say that you started enjoying school when you were doing from your honors?
Yes. That's when I started enjoying school. Of course, in undergrad, there were topics that I was interested in, but as a whole, I was just miserable. And of course, there were modules here and there that I did like, but as a whole, I just didn't want to be there. I was ready to get my qualification and go to medicine. Yeah.
I see.
I had a very bad attitude towards my qualifications.
Oh, dear. I can imagine. I mean, it wasn't medicine.
Yeah.
So there probably was that natural aversion towards the other modules. Yeah. So what was the spark, inspiration for PhD, say, after your postgrad? Of course, what was the inspiration? What was the spark to say, okay, PhD it is?
So upon gathering my information, I realized that when you have a PhD, one, you have more respect in the field.
All right, of course.
And people take you a bit more seriously. If I say I want to cure cancer, a disease that people have been battling with for centuries, then I need to have a title to my name.
Of course.
And secondly, I wanted to be an independent researcher.
All right.
And that meant pursuing a PhD.
Okay.
So, because if you don't have a PhD, then you can't necessarily apply for certain grants, and you can't be the principal investigator. You need to rely on someone else.
Of course.
So it's like you are always hitchhiking on someone's idea.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is I also didn't want to box myself in one section of the field.
Yes.
Because if I continue as a research technologist, that means I'm in the lab the entire time or in the field the entire time.
See.
Whereas as a researcher, then I have more flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility between both worlds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. So tell us a little bit more about the difference now between being in the lab and being in the field. What are the differences?
Okay, so both are pretty much challenging.
Okay.
And they require attention to detail and for you to be very meticulous.
Yes.
It also just depends on the project and the project's needs.
Okay.
So I'll start by explaining fieldwork.
All right.
So on the field, there are two aspects. So I work on environmental sampling, and then there's the community engagements portion of it.
Yeah.
So when you're doing community engagements, you mainly engage with the community.
All right.
So you have to just be very cognizant of the fact that they are people.
Yes.
And they are not just a tick box for you.
Objects.
They're not objects. You're not just probing them and questioning them and giving them this and taking that. You know, you need to be very cognizant that they are still humans at the end of the day with families.
Yeah.
And you need to also have a lot of ethical clearance,
of course,
before getting to them.
Yes.
That's the first part. And then with environmental sampling, it depends where you are sampling again. So it could be a wastewater treatment plant, it could be a river, an ocean, a lake. So it really depends again. And even then you need to also have ethical clearances. And if you are working with animals, again, you need to be cognizant that they also have feelings.
Of course.
As much as they are not humans, but they have feelings. And studies have shown that people who actually work with animals actually like connects with the animals. So when the animals feel pain, they also feel pain. And you see that even their demeanor changes. Some of them become depressed over some time. So you need to also be aware of the feelings of the animals.
Yes.
So that's sampling, that's field work.
All right.
And then now when we come to lab work, lab work also depends on the type of sample you're working with.
Okay.
So we have different labs. So there's a BSL-1, there's a BSL-2, BSL-3, depending on the level of pathogenesis of whatever sample you're working with.
Okay.
So take, for example, if you're working with COVID or TB, you would work at a BSL level 3 lab. And then with the, let's say, wastewater sample, wastewater sample, you would be working at a BSL level 2, which is like, it's pathogenic, but it's not as bad as COVID and TB.
See. Yes.
And then a BSL-1 lab is a lab where we can work with anything that's not harmful.
I see.
Like you can work with blood, you can work with urine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and when you work in the lab, you need to follow the procedures as they are.
I see.
And be very meticulous about it.
I see. So that's more for your safety as well, because with the BSL-3, that is more hazardous, contagious, if I can say.
Yes.
I see. That's pretty interesting. So and now, as you were explaining, especially on the environmental side of it, what now with environmentalists, there's regulations and things like that, and of course also in the lab there's procedures that you have to follow. What would you say are kind of like the challenges in both that you deal with?
Okay, so in my experience with the type of work that I do, you always want to have a challenge, and it's always something different.
Okay.
It's never the same thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So in the lab work, it's a bit of a more controlled environment.
Okay.
Because you're working with, let's say, for example, a microwave.
Yeah.
If the microwave is not working, I should probably check if it has power.
I see.
Okay, I've connected the power, it's not working, so what could be wrong? You can
What's the next
troubleshoot
alternative?
and figure it out. In a lab setting, it's a bit more controlled.
Yeah.
I think the challenge is when things don't work out as planned.
Of course.
And the second thing is just the supply chain logistics, like trying to procure your reagents and all of that. And then with field work, there are so many factors. There are so many factors starting from planning to execution. There's so many factors in between that can affect that. So let's say for example, this week we're working with firefighters, so just screening their health.
Okay.
And as we were doing that this week, one of the things that I didn't anticipate, so we had a questionnaire where we asked them about their lives, about their job, and some questions get too personal, and it really hits home, and you take that with you.
Of course.
And you find yourself being a therapist, whereas you're not a therapist.
Yeah.
So there are nights this week where I struggled to sleep because of that. There are people that I took with me. So for example, you don't expect to connect with a person to that level, and you don't know how to leave work at work, because I wasn't trained to do that. I'm not a medical personnel. So that was sort of like an eye-opener for me.
I see.
So like you learn everything, something new every time.
Of course.
With fieldwork. And yeah, there are so many challenges from ethics to community gatekeepers, for example, like
as well, I believe.
Yeah, so for example, like we're working with firefighters, maybe the chief of that area might come and say, but why are you focusing your resources on firefighters? We so different things.
I can imagine it's quite a minefield.
Yeah.
That you have to carefully navigate the different variables that you're working with.
Yeah, fieldwork is a different world, and it's quite
clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a far mile from a controlled environment of being in a lab. So I think for you, like you said, you didn't want to be stuck in a lab, and you also didn't want to be stuck in field work. I guess then the next question would be, in your current space now, how do you balance being in the field and being in the lab as well?
Okay, so firstly, I have an amazing boss.
Lovely.
And I work with an amazing team.
That's great.
So I make sure that I plan my work properly, because I think I work on about 6 or 7 projects currently.
Wow.
So I need to plan my work properly, but at the same time not burn myself out.
Yeah.
Because each project is demanding, highly demanding.
I can imagine.
So the first thing that I do is plan my work properly.
Okay.
And if I can't, then I am honest about it. I tell my boss, listen, I need help.
I see.
Please help me. Then she helps me plan my work accordingly.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is communicate.
Of course.
Communicate with your team.
Yes.
Guys, I can't do A this week because I'm doing B, but please cover for me. You know, communicate with your team. And another thing that I've learned is truly listen to yourself. Don't burn yourself out.
Yeah.
I did it once and it was not good for me.
See.
So don't burn yourself out. So plan properly, and if something comes up, take care of yourself.
Yes, I see. That's really great. I think that talks to the current buzz of like a good work environment where you've got enough and sufficient support from your superiors or from your safety net, or if there is that actually, where you say, okay, I'm tired or I'm fatigued, what do I need to do, or help me, and things like that. And I think that also summarizes into that work-life balance, more or less. You mentioned earlier that sometimes the challenges or the people that you meet in the field, sometimes it goes home with you because we are humans. We interact on a personal level. Sometimes we are sympathetic and sometimes we are empathetic towards whatever circumstance it is that you are faced with in the field. So how do you process that? Are there safeguards? Is there maybe some kind of therapy that goes into that to help you not, or sort of like to regulate?
So planning for this study, unfortunately, we didn't, because we didn't anticipate it.
I see.
So it was only when we had the debrief meeting that the PI was, guys, I didn't know I was putting you through so much.
I see.
And in place we'll put certain measures, but we did during that debrief sit down and talk about it, and where we could follow up on the people and ensure that they were getting the help that they needed. And I think speaking about it helped, but I think in future we'll be better prepared, because we didn't know that this was going to happen. Yes,
of course. So talking about, like, this sounds like it takes a special type of person, right, in terms of mental strength and even physical stamina or strength, because you being in a lab and you're focused, you're zoning in, it's a controlled environment, working with hazardous substances, and also in the field, navigating people's circumstances or like their personal circumstances, what else can we say? Just being in that environment, right? How do you what type of a person would you say this kind of setup needs you to be, either mentally or, of course, because if it is, let's say, money at the end of the day, we're all doing this for money, but for you, there is a special reason behind it. The quest to find a cure for cancer, which is really admirable. What kind of a person would you say it needs you to be? What does it demands of you? What does it requires of you to be able to handle this kind of pressure, I would say?
I think one of the important things is being able to declutter.
Right.
Because like you said, it's quite demanding.
I can
you need
imagine,
to be able to declutter.
Yes.
So protect yourself before everything else. Yes, you have to get the work done. You have to get the job done. But protect yourself first.
I see.
And then the second thing is precision. Precision and precision.
Okay.
And like where you feel like you don't have the strength, or you are failing, or you're dropping the ball, communicate it.
Right.
If your work environment allows for that, communicate it.
Of course.
I was fortunate enough that during my postgrad, my supervisor and I had a good relationship, and I could communicate with it. But even before I could form a relationship with her, like in undergrad, I used to go to do consultations with the lecturers, and I would communicate, you know what, I think I'm not going to make it. You know, that, and also just being real with yourself.
Of course. That's really great. Let's just take you back a little bit to your master's, because we kind of like jumped from your honors and then now we are PhD. Let's talk about your master's. What was the thought process that went into choosing your research topic for your dissertation, and just kind of like the shifting moments that you went through during your master's?
Okay, so I majored in biochemistry and genetics, and had some microbiology modules. And then I went into biochemistry because I liked the pathways. So biochemistry is very technical. It has different pathways, you know. That's where we spoke about when you're developing a drug, you're blocking this pathway. I'm like, that's where I need to be. That's where I really need to be. So that was the first step. And then now the second step, when we get to masters, honors rather, at honors level, we are given a list of topics and told which lecturer provides which topic, and then you choose a topic. And there was one I was leaning towards was a drug discovery topic, but it was in mental health. And that's not really where I want to go. So I'm like, we're developing a drug, but it's mental health, so I don't want to be there. And then the second topic was HIV. So that research of HIV, I went and spoke to the lecturer that was offering that project. We had a conversation, and we spoke about the lab work, the techniques that I'm gonna be using. And I realized that the techniques that I'm gonna be using, I can actually apply in cancer diagnostics and drug development. So that informed that decision of sticking to that project. I see. And so I did that project with the honors projects with that supervisor, and I did my master's with her as well.
That's great.
It was a different topic, but the skills that I learned there were invaluable, and would certainly help me with my drug discovery and my cancer research.
I see. That is lovely. And so all of that then funneled into the PhD. I see. That's really great. You mentioned data analysis on your profile. Can you give us a bit more on that?
Okay. So the thing is, we produce a lot of data in the lab, like numbers. We tell you there's 5 people who were diagnosed with COVID this week. We tell you 10 people passed on from Ebola or whatever the case might be. But what does that really translate to?
Of course.
And if we say that 5 people were infected with COVID, how does it equate to 5 million residents
Yes.
in that area or that province.
Yeah.
So data analysis simply translates whatever information we get into the lab. We translate it into information that we can use.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
it makes sense.
If it does make sense. Yeah.
It
So
does
basically
make
it's
sense.
just translating whatever information we're getting in the lab or in the field to something that anyone can use.
I see.
So I can come back and tell you that 1% of people are living with HIV or something like that.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So I think that goes back to the research methodologies, that the research methodologies that you apply,
Yes.
say in the field or in the lab, will then determine the type of data analytics that you would need to perform on your samples. And
Exactly.
I see. That's pretty interesting. So what is, now that you are doing your PhD, how has that evolved from your postgrad, your master's, and now here, of course, and also taking into account the different experiences that you've had in the lab and on the field?
Let me start by saying I do not recommend doing a PhD while you're working.
Okay, you've heard it, people.
I do not recommend it because it's a 3-year marriage. It's a full-on commitment.
I see. It's a human being on itself.
So I've encountered so many challenges.
I can imagine.
So many challenges with trying to pursue my PhD.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really materialized because of those challenges.
Yes.
So I can't really speak to that question as yet because I'm still also just figuring things out.
Yes, I see.
But the goal is still the same, to cure cancer.
To cure cancer.
Cure cancer.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely. So when you finish, right? So this is the goal that is still in the making, that is still, you're still honing through everything that you need to go through, the research, the analytics, and probably still more collecting data and stuff. When you finish, right, what would you say? Of course, is the cure for cancer. That is the main goal, and I think that is really phenomenal. What would you say will be your aha moment, that it was all with the challenges, the hurdles, and this rigorous journey that you're taking yourself through?
Curing cancer.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, it's that's the end goal.
I see.
It has been since I was 10. So
yes.
Okay, so I'm also trying to be realistic about it.
I see.
Yes, I want to cure cancer, but also I want to make some progress in the field.
Of course.
So if I don't get to the stage of curing cancer,
yes,
I would be happy just laying a foundation for someone to say, oh, this person was onto something.
That's lovely.
Let me investigate this a bit more.
That's great.
And the second thing that I've always wanted is I wanted a cancer facility.
Okay.
Like a hospital that's
yes,
designated for cancer patients, and to also just try and provide a discounts for treatments, for cancer treatment, because a lot of people
that is
can't
really
afford
important.
chemo and all the other tests. Yes. So yeah, and then I think if I can't then do all of that, a big win for me would to develop a rapid test for cancer diagnostics.
I see.
Yeah, that would be a big win.
I see. That is really great. So it's a lot, right? It's a lot. What with now the environmental issues, the global political, global political influence, and the world is constantly changing. Known variants they keep on shifting and changing. Sure. Would you go further than a PhD if it requires you to?
Yes. I
right,
constantly joke about the fact that I don't think I'll ever stop studying.
Okay.
Because my work is very dynamic,
of course,
and I find myself discovering different things. I'm like,
yes,
okay, what's happening? Okay, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that. I think what would be next after a PhD if I were to study would be data science.
Oh, right.
Because we can't hide away from the fact that AI is taking over.
Yes.
So it would be a smarter option, you know. And as we are doing field work, I'm leaning towards public health. I'm like, oh wow, this field is actually interesting, you know. Yes. And it's very interesting because the environments could also be a contributing factor to cancer. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I don't think I'll ever stop studying. I think I might be addicted just a little bit, just a tiny little bit.
I see. So what is it that you love about research? Because your work basically is more centered around research, meeting new people, either more, of course, in the field, and of course the data that you collect once you make sense of it in the lab, and of course looking at being in the field in contact with the real people, with, you know, real life situations. What is it that you say would sort of like inspire you to go further with research, or like you said, you'll never stop studying?
It's knowing that whatever it is that I do, I'm making an impact in someone's life.
Correct.
So that is truly rewarding, and no one can take that away from you.
Yes.
So you know that you are doing something that's meaningful. And that to me is always rewarding. You don't get those reminders like every day, but on the rare occasion that you do, you're like, oh wow, I touched someone's life. You know, like again this week I was reminded. So we were working with firefighters, like I mentioned before. And every evening, like when we left, because we came home late, every evening when we left, they would give us a military salute.
I say, oh wow.
I was like, wow,
that's special.
These people are so grateful for what we're doing for them here. And it's just
that you realize that they work really dangerous jobs. For them to just, you know, extend that special gesture to you, I think that is something really special.
And what I realized is they can't speak to anyone really about their jobs, as traumatic as it is. They can't really speak to anyone, because majority of them are men, and you know how men are, they don't like speaking about their feelings. And we provided that room for them to actually sit with their feelings and communicate their feelings, which was quite something that they're not used to. So I think they also appreciated just us listening to them and hearing what they had to say.
Of course. That's great. So I think that leads into my next question, to say, what are the things, now having been exposed to the realities of, say, the industry, or what would you say were probably like culture shocks, or something that you say, I thought this was already being done, either to safeguard the people or the environment, like in this case of the firefighters, where they face enormous situations and, you know, life-threatening situations. But it's seemingly there's no one to help them sort through their feelings, right? What have you come across in the field per se that you thought was already something that was implemented, and what would you think that now that you are exposed to this, what would you suggest that or some reforms that needs to be made, so to speak?
Sure. I don't know if I can answer with a single answer, because again it depends on the project and its different sampling sites and one, it's the firefighters. I didn't know they didn't have like mandated like therapy sessions. I feel like they need that,
of course.
I think the second thing is that they didn't realize that as much as they put out the fire and they've come to the base, they need to clean up immediately, because they're still exposed to the smoke.
Of course.
So to me, it's very obvious you were in that fire for 5 hours,
long
12
periods
hours
of
even,
time.
or maybe even 2 days. Like you come back, you want to take that off, But if they're still on shift, they still need to perform other duties before they can take off their PPE and clean it.
I see.
And sometimes they keep it at the base for some time before cleaning it. So for me, it seemed like it was obvious.
I see.
Shouldn't you, and that could potentially be harmful to them.
Expose them to toxins and stuff.
And then the second thing is just the state of the environment.
Right.
And these are environments that should be well maintained. And we already have the blueprints of how to run a wastewater treatment plant. But you get to some communities, you're like, and you find that downstream of that wastewater treatment plants, there's a community.
Of course.
You find that they're using the water from the wastewater treatment plants,
I see.
hoping that it's clean, when actually sometimes so
it's not as clean.
Not as clean. I can speak about other projects, but I think I'll stop there.
I see. Okay, that is very insightful. Where I think personally, I'm just thinking about it now, that I've never thought about the behind the scenes of firefighters. I know there is a fire base close to where I stay. I just pass through there and I'm like, okay, these are firefighters, these are firemen and women, and when there's fires, they put out the fires. But I never thought about the behind the scenes, like the day to day. And of course we know that firefighting is a very dangerous job, but where they will have to be in their uniform still hours after, and everything that comes into that. So that is very insightful to me. So now that we are here, right, we have discovered the cure for cancer. What are, say, maybe 2 or 3 alternatives that you would say, okay, now that we've discovered the cure for cancer, or if not, then the rapid test is there. What other fields of study would you like to explore? Maybe from your hobbies or from what you've been exposed to.
I think antimicrobial resistance.
Okay.
I think we should all be thinking about it.
I see.
Because it's coming up a lot. Because even when I develop the cancer drug, I need to be cognizant of that fact. That people are becoming resistant to drugs.
The mutations, gene mutation, and that's
so
interesting.
I need, so antimicrobial resistance is a big one. What else? I think I'll just crunch numbers. I'll be a data scientist.
I see.
Crunch numbers.
Okay, give me all the data. Just bring it here.
Me all the data.
Okay, that is pretty interesting. So, high pressure environment, precision needed, almost being on the go constantly. You mentioned about decluttering. How do you declutter? What does that look like for you? Maybe your hobbies something along those lines. Your social life, maybe something that helps you to kind of center yourself or regulate.
Okay, so I'm at a point where I'm also trying to figure it out, because I realized it was important.
Of course.
But my hobbies are swimming. But I'm challenged in winter.
I see.
So
it's winter.
So it's swimming. And
lovely.
And I try to find a new hobby every year.
Okay.
But the other hobbies that I tried to pick up, I didn't like very much, so I had to drop them. And also I just moved this side, so I don't have any friends. So it's swimming. I like playing chess.
Okay, lovely.
But of course, I haven't met anyone who knows how to play chess, so that's a bit of a challenge.
Don't look this side.
I was hoping I could ask you if we could.
If you can teach, I know the pieces. I don't know how to formulate a game plan. But I think maybe you can be my mentor.
maybe we can try. But I think 2 biggest things that help me escape. The one is my PhD project is not related to my work.
Okay.
So it helps me forget about work and focus on that.
I see.
And the second thing is I'm very much involved in a church.
Yes.
So like I have this community of people, so that also helps, you know.
I see.
Me to declutter.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd stay at home and think about everything.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. You mentioned that your work is not related to your PhD project. What do you do for work? Or in which environment or sector are you?
Okay, so at work, I'm in the environment and health sector.
Okay.
So we work on a number of projects.
I see.
If I were to name a couple, it's the firefighter study, wastewater surveillance, like we looking at different pathogens in wastewater.
Yeah.
Just to name a few.
I see.
And then my PhD topic is we are checking intimate feminine hygiene products and their impacts on women's health, on feminine health.
Okay.
So we're looking at HIV, we're looking at other STIs.
All right.
We're looking at bacterial vaginismus.
Yes.
So the overall health of women.
I see. No, those are
two
different worlds.
Intentionally
I see. So how do you bring them together? Or how do you kind of like separate them and still be able to function?
So my PhD is like my second job after my first job.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's hard. It's hard at times to find a balance.
I can imagine.
But my supervisor is very supportive and very understanding.
Lovely.
And my boss is also aware that I'm pursuing a
That's
PhD.
great.
And so I asked her to be one of my supervisors. So she's co-supervising me.
All right.
And yeah, she makes my job a lot easier.
That's lovely.
I don't think I would be able to do a PhD
I see.
outside of work, like my second job, if it weren't for her, because she allows me, if I say, hey, I need to step out and go do my PhD stuff, she allows me. If I say, okay, I'm blocking out Friday and I'm focusing on my PhD, I'm not doing the work that I was hired for, she understands. She's like, go for it.
I see.
You know, so
I see.
Yeah,
I think.
But I haven't really found a balance.
Of course. I think some of these things are sort of like euphemism or euphemisms where, you know, it's like it's nice to have. We know about these things, but then when you come to the practicality of it, you realize that hey, it's not exactly as, you know, as they put it out to be or as we think it out to be. But it was really lovely having you. I really learned a lot. You can share with us a little bit more, maybe the topics that we didn't get to touch on.
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. But it was just nice speaking to you.
Right. Thank you. And likewise. So what are your parting advice to somebody that might be looking into, you know, going into getting a PhD either in the same field or whatever field? Because I think that the main aspect of it is that it requires a lot of mental strength, hard work, time. What are your parting thoughts to anybody that wants to pursue a PhD or that wants to get into academia?
I would say have a plan, have a vision, and run with it.
I see.
And just be prepared that anything could happen. Be adaptable and flexible as much as possible. So if you need to reroute, do so. If you need a detour, do so. But you really, really, really need to understand that it is a full-on commitment.
Of course.
Treat it as such. And
I see. That's really lovely. And I think my main takeaway from what you've shared with us is it is very important to have a safety net. It could be it's most importantly in the people that are surrounding you, like you mentioned, your supervisor and your co-supervisors, how the important role that they have played in your life in sort of like giving you a break or giving you the room to either do your PhD or focus on work, and also helping you regulate to say, okay, I'm tired. I know this needs to be done. However, emotionally, I'm not there, or mentally it is, I'm not there. And they understand you. They come through for you, or that experience with the firefighters. I think it really takes a lot to have, or it's something that we don't realize that we need, an environment where you can declutter, where you can, just take a load off, and they help you process through everything, especially in being in the field, exposed to different walks of life, some life situations that you have never even imagined, and then now you realize this is somebody else's reality. I can imagine that takes a toll on somebody. So I really love that you have that for you in this journey, and I think for everybody else out there, I think it's something important that we need to have. Yeah,
it really is.
Right.
It really is.
Great.
And also the work environment. Yeah, like we have little control over it, and sometimes you just there because you need the job.
Yes.
But yeah, can just the management just please guys, please guys, go easy
Cut
on us. Like we are human beings,
Of course.
Yeah,
of
like
course.
we are human beings, because toxic work environments.
Of course.
Yeah,
no, that is and it's a reality.
Yeah, it is a reality.
It is a reality.
And also with the supervisors, I wish to sit down with one of the supervisors and find out what happens sometimes, because like our postgrads are not easy, and sometimes it's the supervisors doing. Like the supervisors make it difficult for us. It's not my experience with my supervisor, but a lot of people, like, they suffer because of their supervisors. And it's not nice to see one of my mates going through that. And I've also lost some colleagues, some friends to that. Some suffered depression, some even passed on. It's not nice to experience it. So please supervisors, please bosses,
cut us some slack. Cut PhD students some slack, please.
Yeah, it's my honest plea.
No, I mean, and it's very valid. It's very valid, and I like that in your space, you've got a really nice safety net. You've got a nice working environment, which I think makes all the difference. As you are mentioning it, that in your immediate space, it may not be like that, but unfortunately somebody else is, going through something where just a good environment would have made all the difference for them to excel or to go further.
Correct.
But that was lovely. It was really lovely and insightful to have you on the podcast and share with us your PhD journey. And let's go get that cure for cancer. Let's get it. So this is the end of our podcast today. Noma was sharing with us how she's navigating life through her PhD, and the core focus is on getting a cure for cancer. So that is it for today. Thank you, guys. I would like to extend a special shout out and a thank you to Workshop 17 for collaborating with us by allowing us to use their studio to bring our podcast to life. If you would like the same experience, you are welcome to reach out to them. We're going to put their contact details in the description below. And this is the Sdeke Podcast, the academia edition, where we bring in students and professionals like Noma to share with us their journey so that you and I can be inspired to grow, to learn, and to thrive. Thank you. Do comment. Let us know what other topics you would like us to explore, and would love to hear from you. Thank you.